Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Eric. Today I wanted to do a quick reading update and also a small book haul, so might as well get right to it. So, for nonfiction right now, I'm reading Parting the Waters, America in the King Years, 1954 to 1963 by Taylor Branch. This is the first in a trilogy of books that are a history of the civil rights movement. It's great. It's a combination of biography and history, and I can tell right away the author has a really good sense of narrative. So I wanted to read these for a long time, and like I said, I picked this up at a used bookstore, and they actually had a bunch of copies. So yeah, look forward to reading through this one. So okay, another nonfiction book. This is the new Biographical Dictionary of Film by David Thomson. I'd had this book before, actually in a more recent edition, and I think I had sold off my old copy. I wish I hadn't done that, but I did. But I found this at the used bookstore. This is an earlier edition, I think 2002 is this edition, but if you're not familiar with this book, it's not really a book you read cover to cover per se, because it's like a reference book. It's arranged like a dictionary of Thomson provides his verdicts on figures in film history, actors and directors and others, important figures in film history. So Thomson, I always like to read as a critic. He's always full of surprises. You never quite know where he's going to go with his assessments, and I like that kind of criticism where you just don't quite know where the critic's going to go, but even if they're kind of taking apart someone that you're a fan of or you like, it's still great to get the perspective of Thomson. And like the very first entry in this book is Abbott and Costello, of course, the comedy duo, and I'll just give you a little bit of a reading from it. So, Lou is the one who has blood pressure, and Bud hasn't. So they are together in the world, yet together alone, doomed to explain things to each other. They are companions, halves of a whole, chums, lovers if you like. But they are a raw display of hatred, opposition, and implacable differences. They are also far better than all the amateurs. And if Lou is the performer, the valiant seeker of order, while Bud is the dumb square peg, the one who seems oblivious of audience, still nobody did it better. If I were asked to assemble a collection of things to manifest America for the stranger, Who's on First would be there, and it might be the first piece of film I'd use, referring to the Who's on First routine. And finally, and this is typical Thomson, next paragraph he says, at the same time, they are not very good. Rather silly, not really that far above the ocean of comedians. It isn't even that one can separate their good work from the poor. Now, is it that Who's on First is simply and mysteriously superior to all the rest of their stuff? No, it's only that routine feels an inner circle of dismay within all the others, the suffocating mantle next to Lou's heart. It isn't good or superior, it's divine, which is why no amount of repetition dulls it at all. I think I could watch it every day, the Who's on First, and feel the thrills and the dread as if for the first time. So that's Thomson. Like he'll build someone up, take them down a little bit, then kind of build them back up again. So it's yeah, I like that type of writing where the writer just kind of moves around and little unpredictable with where they're going, but the whole book's kind of like that. So it's just a sample of some film criticism, or I guess you call it that. Let's see, some fiction I'm reading right now. Here's Against the Day by Thomas Pynchon. I'm trying to work my way through the Pynchon novels for the past several years. I've read about half of them maybe at this point. This is a first time read for Against the Day. This is about 1,000-page book. It's a big book, so I'm in the 400s now, so approaching the halfway point. This book is set, it starts out at the Chicago World Fair, 1893, and it goes into the World War I years of the 20th century, so it covers a wide swath of time. Enjoying it so far. It's everything you'd expect from a Pynchon novel. Just a lot of surreal situations and lots of characters, lots of crazy surreal characters, and shocking things happen from time to time. But yeah, really, there's like three separate storylines going in this one. This is very much a Western. A lot of the book is set in the Colorado, and it deals with labor struggles and other issues with the West. So there's like a very much like a Lonesome Dove quality to a major portion of this book with the Western. You have a section that follows a group of boys who fly this airship. It's very much like a Jules Verne novel of the time of technology and air travel, and they have all sorts of adventures that Pynchon gets into. So there's like a sci-fi element with the Western, and then a lot of the book is set in Europe, where you have lots of international intrigue. It's more like a kind of a spy novel, or even beyond that, just like a really massive mystery or conspiracy going on as Europe careens into the First World War. And some historical figures appear for real. There are characters who are clearly based on real historical figures. Like the European section gets a lot into like mysticism and the occult, like Aleister Crowley, people like that, but also with a lot of the upper classes of Europe during the time as well. So you get the sense that all three of these storylines are going to converge. You know what's going to happen, and it's already started to happen in some way. So I'm enjoying Against the Day, and it is a long book. So, but I'll be glad to finish this one. I'm enjoying it so far. So, all right. Here's another, I guess, a little haul I'll do. This is a book I very recently picked up. It's called If/Then by Jill Lepore, How the Simulmatics Corporation Invented the Future. So this is about a company, I think it's in the 50s or 60s, that wanted to build computers that could predict human behavior. Really, we're talking about the early algorithms, and how that's all we hear about today is algorithms. So I like Jill Lepore as a writer. She wrote a really good history of the United States, and I know she's recently published a book about the Constitution. So I don't know when I'll read this, but I'll get to it at some point. And then another pickup is, I was at the used bookstore earlier, and I found this 3-volume history of the United States by Daniel J. Boorstin. The colonial experience. It's called The Americans. The second one's called The National Experience, and then The Democratic Experience. I'd never seen these in hardcover before, and the prices were pretty reasonable on these, so I thought I would grab them. This felt very much like a Steve Donahue pickup. Like I could see him, at the Brattle or something, grabbing these books. So I thought, that's what I was thinking of as I bought these. But I look forward to reading these. I like these immersive histories, and the books aren't like super long, like big doorstoppers. I mean, we're talking 500-page average for each one, which isn't too bad. So you can see Daniel J. Boorstin himself right there, looking very distinguished. And so look forward to reading these. Be curious to see what he decided to focus on when he was writing his History of America. These books were published in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, so he spent a lot of time working on these. And like I said, I will read these at some point. I don't know when, but maybe when I do get through them, I'll come back and give a full report of my thoughts on this trilogy. So I suppose this wraps up my reading update for today. If you have any thoughts on any of these books or anything else, want to share something you're reading, great. Be glad to hear it. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.